local people, important issues. CBS 10 WILM's weekly focus on the Lower Cape Fear region. This is Byline Wilmington with your host, Don Ansell.
Well, today it's focus on the Seahawks. Timeline 2010, April. Veteran coach Buzz Peterson comes on board as the men's new Seahawk basketball coach with a promise to rejuvenate a troubled program. May, a new era in UNCW women's basketball begins with the hire of WNBA superstar Cynthia Cooper-Dyke as the new head coach. And then October, UNCW names Jimmy Bass, who has strong history with the Seahawk program, as the school's 6th athletic director in its history. Buzz Peterson, Cynthia Cooper-Dyke, and Jimmy Bass will all be on this edition of Byline, and we begin with the new men's basketball coach for UNCW, Buzz Peterson. Coach, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Great to meet
Appreciate
you.
It. Mm-hmm.
So you walk into a program that's had some pretty troubled times. You're the highest paid coach in the history of the school. How much pressure is that?
Oh, it's always. My dad once told me, he said, "Son, the more money you make, the more pressure you're going to have." And so that's so true. But, you know, I'm so excited to be here. It's you look at the potential of this university men's basketball. It's been there. And, you know, your goal is to get it back where it was at one time. So that's what we've got a great staff. You're only as good as your assistant coaches. I really feel very strong about my assistants. And we just got to recruit and work hard with the young men we have now to get this program back where it used to be.
Coach, there's been a lot of talk about how much you moved around, I think 5 schools in 10 years. When you addressed the issues at the news conference announcing your hire, you said that you're sick and tired of making these moves. Yeah. So what's the story there?
I'm tired of seeing those little labels, blue, orange on the furniture, whatever. And, you know, Jan and I have been blessed with 3 kids, and we want to raise these kids here in Wilmington. What a great location, everything. So I'm hoping that this is going to be a place where we can call home for a long time and get this program back where it was at one time and top 4 teams in CAA.
How challenging is it to be hired by one AD, Kelly Martins, and a few months later you're working for another boss?
Yeah, you don't like changes. You know, I went through 5 presidents in 4 years at Tennessee, and AD's changed. So I've experienced that. But Jimmy Bass coming in, Jimmy knows what it takes to run a high-level athletic department. He's been there. Mississippi State, NC State, East Carolina. He's been to those places. So he's got the experience to get us back. I always said Jimmy's been here before. He knows where the toilets are, everything, where to go. So I'm looking forward when Jimmy gets in here and get going.
And by the way, Jimmy Bass will be with us in our 3rd segment. Next segment, Cynthia Cooper-Dyke, NBA superstar and the new women's basketball coach, will be joining us. So what's your biggest challenge? Winning?
Winning is some, but, you know, is building this foundation, and everybody said, what is that? What are you trying to do? Well, discipline is number one, on and off the floor, stuff like that. Paying attention to little detail stuff. That's something that's very important. And once you teach the fundamentals, put the emphasis on that defense, whatever, and you recruit, and then some success should be coming your way.
You really only had about 6 months to organize and kind of rejuvenate the program as best you could. What was recruiting like?
You know, we really try to focus on 2011 more than anything else. We just didn't want to go sign somebody, just be signing, get numbers. So we took one kid that way, Matt Wallace, but we want to be careful about anything else we did. The difficult part was they were left without a permanent head coach for a long time that semester. So what suffered was part of the academic side more than anything else.
And last season, it's no secret, the squad finished with a 9-22 record, and which is one of the worst in the school's history. How hard is it to build that winning spirit after us?
Well, I've always said that you just can't go and turn that light switch on. It's going to work. It's not going to happen. We're going to be suffering a little bit from the loss of some big guys inside that moved on and everything. So you know, we ask for patience, like at a security line at the airport. Have some patience there, and then we'll get this process back where it used to be, where from early 2000, where they were winning with Coach Wainwright and Coach Brownell.
Yeah, would you call it a rebuilding season?
Oh, most definitely. It's most definitely rebuilding.
And so you got how many players returning to the squad?
Right now we have, I guess it's a good question. We got 10 on scholarship right now. We lose 4 to take us to 6. That's why we've been able to sign. But we didn't have.
You got 4 freshmen.
Yeah, and we got 3 walk-ons, may add another walk-on. So a couple of our walk-ons are really helping us with getting valuable minutes. But overall, when I first took the job, there were 5 starters.
Right. And
now we're down to 2 starters. Right.
Seniors, Grant and Tomko are getting some attention.
Yeah, and they'll have to play a lot of minutes for us. They were played a lot last year. They'll have to play more this year. Tomko is a young man that is talented. The biggest part is he's a captain, and we need to really work with him on the mental side so much more than the physical side.
And your forward, sophomore Keith Rendelman.
Got a chance.
Looked good.
Yeah, very
first
active,
exhibition game.
Very active. I think 16 rebounds. Gets his hands on a lot of things. 7'1" wingspan. So.
And you beat Coker 54-43 in an exhibition game. That's a Division II school. Fell behind in the early part of the game, then pulled it back up. What'd you learn from that matchup?
You know, you want to win every game, but I'm trying to learn our personnel, learn different situations, what 5 can play well with each other, who's good, come off the bench, whatever. And what's important to me is who finishes a game for us. We learned a lot that we reverted back. Like I told Chad, you reminded me of some of the games you played last year. We got to take care of the ball. We don't value the basketball well enough right now, and that's what we got to do a better job of.
You mentioned academics, big issue, particularly after 6-5. Jeremy Bassnight was declared academically ineligible for the first semester, and I think there are 3 others.
O'Hareby is transferred, Lacey, Fields, that new rule where you can graduate, and he transferred to SEC school, University of Tennessee. So
you were quoted in August as saying, we have to change the whole academic mindset and hold the players accountable. So how do you drive that point home?
Well, we stay on top of it. We are, I mean, this morning we get in, send assistant coach to check a class. Some days I may go check it. Mandatory study hall for everybody. Even the guys that make good grades, I still want you in study hall. You got to prove this new staff that you can do the work. Making them accountable. If they don't go to class, they don't get to play. Matt Wallace was not able to play this last exhibition game, and then got to go to class.
We're taping this segment before you go to Florida for your season opener. You'll have played on Friday. This will air Sunday. Any predictions?
I've been there. They hear that Gator chomp. I mean, all that stuff. To hear them go, that's a tough place to play. We start out the season 5 games in 12 days. 2 of those 5 teams top 10 in the country, with Florida being 8, 9, 10 in the country.
Might mention too that you're doing a new coaches show with Mike Vaccaro on our sister radio station, Sunny 104.5. Which is the new home of the Seahawks. Is that it? Have you done coaches shows before, Colin?
Yes, I have, and they're fun.
Yeah, you enjoy it?
It's a night for people to come out and ask questions to the coach, put the coach in the firing range a little bit every once in a while. But it's I enjoy working with Mike, and it's good crowds.
How strong is the CAA conference this year?
Oh, it's 60% of the scoring's returning. Old Dominion, they beat Notre Dame in the first round last year, return a lot of guys. BCU's got some guards back. They're going to help them. George Mason's going to be strong. James Mass's going to be better. Hofstra's got the best player in the league, they say.
Yeah.
So it's we've got our hands full.
Coach, we want to have you back as the season progresses. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much. Love to come back.
Stay with us. Cynthia Cooper-Dyke, an NBA superstar, now the coach of women's basketball UNCW, will be next. Stay with us.